Okay. Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Drawing After Hours with Yoakechi. I'm Yoakechi. Uh, I can never get used to my username. Uh, anyway, today we are going through my art journey. Actually, it should say art journey. I've corrected it in the final version, hopefully. So let's go through my art journey from 2013. That's when I started drawing to 2023. That's the current year, and I'm still going strong. Uh, so, as I was mentioning, we started drawing in 2013. That's my standout piece. I really like it. So I just put one standout piece every year. At least I tried to. Sometimes we might revisit that a bit later on. So from 2013 was when it was a pen and paper era. I just started drawing. I discovered Mark really. I really like. I think I still remember how I drew his realistic eye tutorial, and I'm even thrilled till date that I actually do a realistic eye. I don't draw realistically anymore, which so I guess that's my prize. Uh, I don't know. I feel a bit embarrassed. But anyway, so this was the era when I was like too into fairy tale. So we would be seeing a lot of fairy tale fan art during my initial years of my art journey. And yeah, I used to do this funny thing where I used to like follow the tutorials and then name the characters from the tutorials and call them my OCs. I know that wasn't right. I'm really sorry about that. But I used to do that. And this particular, I don't know if I can do that, but this girl over here, she was from, I don't know if it was Mark Release tutorials or Sophie Chan's tutorials. But I used to, like, I named her Celia and I used to call her my OC. But I guess technically my first OC would probably be this princess. Or was this princess also from a Mark Release tutorial? I think she was also from a Mark Release tutorial. Okay. Yeah. So this is not my first OC. But these were my first OC names. Uh, so that was the era of traditional art, and it was also the era when I discovered paint tool sai. So I I started tracing my traditional art. I used to take pictures. At that time, I had a very, I mean, it was back in the 2013, and I think I used to have a camera phone, and I used to like click a picture and like send it to my laptop using Bluetooth, and then I traced the line art using, is it the airbrush tool? It looks like the airbrush tool or like the soft brush tool, soft round tool. I don't remember, but I mean the line art looks very, very funny. Um, so yeah, it was a bit of a surprise to me. I can you hear the neighbors playing? Um, Neighbor kids playing. Let me just quickly close the door. Okay. All right, I'm back. So as I was saying, I would trace that in paint tool sai, and then I colored with airbrush tool again. Um, it still brings me quite a lot of joy when I'm looking at this drawing and look at the wonky asymmetrical eyes. But I guess it brings me a lot of joy. So I like it. I especially like the colors I picked here. And after that, I actually discovered the vector pen tool. Is that what it's called? It's been a while since I've worked with Sai, so I might get the wrong names of the brushes. So it's the one which you can draw using mouse. So I was doing this heavily using mouse at this period of time, and it's actually quite amazing. Uh, and I still like the vector pen tool. and the way I used to create these artwork using the pen tool. I still think that that was really an amazing era. It's a period of discovery, and it's a period full of joy for me. So I really like it. So I was drawing a few requests of people. I do that often, but I don't end up doing all the requests I get. I know I shouldn't feel sorry about it, but that's how it is. And now I don't know why this is not loading. Okay, we're back again after some technical difficulties. Let's see if this one goes smoothly. Okay, so as I was talking about the vector images, so what? Uh, so this particular chibi drawing I completely created using the pen tool, and it was quite an amazing feeling. I think I posted this on mangamagazine.net. I used to like that website quite a bit. Unfortunately, after about a year or so after I joined, it the website closed. So they also tried to rebrand it to something called inkblazers.com. And I was sad. I was a bit sad when it went down because, I made a few friends over there. So I miss them now. The next thing after that is this one. So I actually drew this drawing of this fairy tale like scene for a contest on DeviantArt for the very first time, and I actually won the contest. I was quite happy. I mean, it was, I think, about 300 coins or something. Coins is like the currency on DeviantArt. Um, so I actually won that, and I felt really good about it. I actually haven't used all the 300 coins. Even now, I think a few of them are still there, but I really, really enjoyed it. And I think it's one of my more magical pieces. I like how vibrant the colors are, and it's just also something I definitely want to remake one day to see what I can do to this scenery with my current drawing. I mean, current ability. Uh, Now, the next one is like this January girl. That's what I used to call it, a January girl. So this was like a calendar project. So I had this project at that time when I wanted to draw one illustration per month and then put it together as a calendar. I think it was also part of a calendar group on DeviantArt, I think. I'm not exactly sure because it's been 11 years since then. So this, again, most of it was like the line art and everything was done using the pen tool. And I was still majorly a mouse based artist on at that this time. So this was the only way I could get really clean line art and stuff. Uh, so yeah, even till date I can't do line art. So I think this is still like the era of my best line arts. The next year is 2014, and as you can see from the image, we are still into fairy tale at this point. Uh, This is Yukino from Fairy Tail, for those of you who you don't know. At this point, I discovered this thing called digital art, which is like I got a printer. I had to print a lot of things for my university, so my dad helped me get a printer, and that printer actually came in together with a scanner. So I think it was like a Canon Pixma. I don't remember the version, but I remember the troubles I had with it because it was a inkjet printer, and it used to have this huge ink tank outside, and there was like a lot of ink bleeding. So every time I used to print, after a while, it would just bleed quite a bit and destroy a lot of paper. Anyway, enough about the printers. But as I was mentioning, I drew a lot of fairy tale fan art, and I drew Lucy a lot. Lucy was my favorite character from Fairy Tale. I did have other favorite characters, and for some reason, I kept drawing. I also have a lot of Julia drawings which I have not finished yet. Maybe one day I'm going to, because I actually can't get rid of this one Julia illustration idea. for a very long time, so I probably should draw it up. So Tridigital, and that's why I was talking about the printer, right? So basically, I would draw on paper, scan it, clean up the line art, and then paint it in digital art. And I was still doing some of the mouse based artwork. For example, if you look at this if you look at this one over here, so I was still doing mouse based line art, but my coloring in this era was very soft, and I quite like it. It was more pastely, and I like them. So we then move into like a different set of drawings where I was drawing original characters, and this here is my original character, Reira. She was supposed to be like like Lucy's mother was Layla, and the name I really liked it, but I didn't want the name to be same as Layla, so I kind of named her Reira at that time. And she was like a magical girl, and she had this whole transformation sequence and stuff. It was quite fun. I've been meaning to like change her design because it was very basic. um but one day I hope I can get that. I really like this drawing. At that time I was going by the name Aster the Star. um I don't have it because I thought I wanted to change the name, but then because I was like a student and I did not have any income at that time, so I the only way I could do that was by creating a new DeviantArt account. So I moved since then. I don't think the um, DeviantArt is still available, but yeah, I used to draw under that name for a while. I like the very dreamy atmosphere that has been created in this drawing. And again, as you can see, still a heavily mouse based artist at this point, and I relied on the pen tool. And I miss the pen tool quite a bit. I really miss it. I really like that. I feel like no matter how many softwares I've tried, no software has been able to recreate that experience for me so far. But then again, I probably should try softwares which are like more vector based softwares for vector based illustrations. So I think that would be nice. Then let's move on to the next one, which is this one. So this particular drawing, I actually made this for a magazine. Like it was still like a university level magazine, internal, but I was very proud of the drawing, and I was very happy that it actually was published. I still don't think it was like good, because especially like when I compare to the rest of the quality of the magazine, I feel like this is very childish. But it's only when I compare it to from my skill level, I think it was pretty good. I was quite happy. Oh, did I mention I really like the no face drawing here? I think I watched Kiki's delivery service at that time, and I really liked this. I made this fan art, and I really like that. Okay, now going back to this one. Now this is I think she was an adoptable. I think there was this whole thing going on DeviantArt about adoptables and how you could make money out of that. So I tried to make an adoptable. Actually made a few. None of them sold, of course, and I think I know why. But my designs were pretty simplistic, and also after a point, I even after I created characters, I didn't want to sell them because I was so attached to them. So eventually I gave up on the idea. But I guess this thing was there, like deriving some form of income from art. It was one of the major things when I started drawing. I think like I wanted to commission a few artists, but I couldn't, so I started learning to draw. And I don't think it's a bad motivation in one way, but I'm actually happy that I've come far from it. I hope. um, Nowadays I just draw because I can. It is fine. This character is like Snow Woman, Marriott. She would probably make an appearance later this year because I want to make a sticker out of her. And I'm so happy I actually found her design because now I don't have to like rely on my memory and try to recreate her. But yeah, the next one is a gift for a friend. So I treat her like my first friend. I think I don't remember her full name. I mean, my first friend online. I don't remember her full name. She went by the username Azalea, and she had a really cool web comic. I was into web comics since then, since 2014, and this was an indie web comic. And I don't think she continued after a point. And I haven't been in touch for a long time, so I don't know how what happened and everything. But it was really cool. I really liked the characters and the story of it, and I talked to her, appreciated her work, and I got a chance to talk to her and get to know her. So I would draw fan art for her. I think I even draw the hero of the character, but I don't remember where the artwork is. But I really, really enjoyed talking to her, and I just wanted to commemorate my first friendship online. So this is the main lead from her character. She had the striking red hair and green eyes, and I really liked her. And I think she also had memory loss, if I'm not wrong. But I could be mixing up multiple stories at this point. The Then we arrive in 2015. So 2015 is a year where I was obsessed with the watercolor brush. Like I was into this traditional sketch and digital color, the thread digital art. And to give it a more traditional watercolor look, I followed one of the tutorials on DeviantArt, and I tried to recreate that watercolorish look on digital using digital tools. And this, sorry, this particular one over here is one such result, and I really, really enjoyed it. I've been trying to recreate that ever since, but I think like Sai was really good, and it was a one of a kind of a I don't know. Paint Tools I has a really special place in my heart. Unfortunately, I'm using a Mac right now, so I cannot use Paint Tools I, which is a bit sad. But if I ever go back to using Windows, I would definitely buy Paint Tools I, especially the version 2. I'm quite excited. I've been quite excited for it for a while now. Now, again, we are back with Lucy fan art. Uh, this isn't Lucy over here. This is Serena from Pokemon XY. I drew her after she cut her hair. I was drawing Pokemon fan art, and I was also trying out painterly art style at this point. So it just happened. But mostly my artwork and my fan art for Fairy Tale was surrounded around Fairy Tale. And this was about the point when I was getting into Tumblr quite a bit. So I used to have this Tumblr blog. I don't upload anything to it right now. But Tumblr is still one of my favorite websites. So at this point, I should also mention that I thank all the 100 followers. Every time I go to a website and 100 people, or maybe even less sometimes, but at least one person was watching me create art and returning to my social media link or to my website, Tumblr, Instagram, DeviantArt. At least one person was always there, and that always kept me going when I was drawing in and when I was posting my art online. And I'm very grateful to everyone who has viewed my art and encouraged me, and I'm very grateful. It really kept me going, and it brought me to this point. Uh, so yeah, I was drawing a lot of fan art for Lucy, and I was a huge Nalu shipper. If you don't know what a Nalu shipper is, Nalu is basically Natsu Cross Lucy, so I was quite into that. Now I don't know why, but at that point I was there. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to take back, take it back. And it created quite a bit of very good memories for me. Um, so yeah, it is what it is. So this particular drawing of Leon is one of my favorites. It has like this whole very blush pinkish overtone, and I really like how the coloring turned out. Even till date, it's one of my favorites. So I just wanted to put this on. I think I was on Instagram by this point. I was trying out many things. I don't know when I was on which platform. I was also on Pagey World. Sadly, Pagey World is not here anymore, but I was on that. I tried most of the art platforms. I'm not on most of the art platforms right now, but back in the day when I was there in one form or the other. This one is the Zeref painting. It has a very special place in my heart because I feel like it's a very beautiful painting, which I made. Now I can see a few mistakes, but I still love it. I'm not going to stare at it too much because I don't want to, you know, pick out too many mistakes with it. But I think I did great for what my skill level and understanding of paintings was at that point of time. Service week. I was also a service shipper, and I actually can't believe that it came true. Um, in the most unexpected way, I thought it would come true, but this particular drawing, I really like the colors again. They really touch my heart, and I think it really turned out to be beautiful. And we are still in 2015. I think 2015 is the year, like I created so many beautiful artwork, which I hold close even to this day. I think I've talked about it before, so I'm not going to talk about it right now. But yeah, I still need to learn how to draw clothing folds. Stained art. I met longest distance creations during this year, and she was my second online friend. Um, I haven't really interacted with many artists in the recent years, but she was really kind, and I participated in the uh, stained art collaboration at that point, and I learned quite a bit during that period. I've been meaning to create a stained art. I think, like I mentioned in my previous video about Furina, the link of which you can find right now. um, I mentioned that, okay, you can I was going to draw Furina's drawing in a painted sorry, in a stained class ish manner, but it did not work out. I could not draw her in that way, so I needed to figure out how I can do like I probably would be using this technique again in some other drawing. But yeah, it was quite fun while it was there. And 2015 also marks the year when I started working on my Secret Santa collection. So there is this group on DeviantArt which is called Secret Santa Network, and they conduct Secret Santa every December and in May, June, or July. And this was the first time I participated in it, and then I think like I started working. Ever since then, I've been participating in one Secret Santa or the other, and these are like the illustrations which would be, if I was not drawing anything in the whole year, these would still be the illustrations I would be working on. And I haven't noticed this before, but I've come a long way since my first Secret Santa illustration, and maybe I should actually compile all of them together in one slide so that we can view them together. It's quite fun. And then we are at the Your Line April phase. I cried. I cried so much during this anime. It's one of the most beautiful animes, and it's the most heartbreaking ones. Um, I I still can't get over this. I even went back and read the manga for it, and it's still beautiful. Um, I'm speechless. There are no words to say what anything about it, and yeah, this kind of like I tried to recreate the final scene, um, in the anime. Just thinking about it brings tears to my eyes. This is another special piece which I've created for Your Line April. Ever since then, I've been trying to create a Your Line April artwork in April, but it always turns out to be a lie. I mean, like, I try to create it, but I can't create it because I become so overwhelmed with emotion. And then April is over before I know it. So maybe this year, 2024, we can see another Your Line April fan art in April. Yeah, this is one of my most favorite pieces till date. I really like it. I think it's a little bit cropped. This is actually quite a long piece, uh, but I still like it. Something which I would definitely want to change if I've tried to recreate this multiple times, but it was not possible for me to finish the artwork. But if I was ever to recreate this, I would like to change the sunflower height. Like I learned that sunflowers are like as tall as human beings or even taller sometimes. So I need to get that portion right. I think that is one thing which bugs me. So that's why I wanted to recreate it. But otherwise, it's still one of my most favorite pieces still date. I like the colors and the vibrant nature of the drawing, and I really like. I really like it. It brings me joy. Yeah, if you don't know why I always say it brings me joy, it's all Marie Kondo references. It's not like I'm trying to discard my art or anything or like clean out my art, but it's just something I've been practicing. Is does this thing bring me joy? And yes, it does. Okay, the next one is the first appearance of my OC Christy. I think I always still call her Christy, but I have changed her name since then to Ruby. Um, but yeah, and I think I still kept Ryan's name. Sorry, Ryu's name. He's supposed to be Ryu, but uh Christy or like Ruby is supposed to call her Ryan every time, and that's kind of like her thing. And I had this like challenge, incomplete project which I've never finished, which was like I would take one word for one alphabet and then create a one comic panel for it. And I haven't finished it, but it was to explore the OC dynamic. There are many other OCs in this universe, and I've kind of merged other stories I've created since into this universe, and I'm trying to figure out how the universe works. But yeah, like Ruby is still there in the universe, and one day we all will hear Ruby's story. Uh, yeah. So with that, we go into 2016. So 2016 is the year when I got my first ever tablet. It was a Wacom Small. It was very tiny, but I think I have the very fond memories of drawing with it. And I was also getting into, and this is okay, before we go any further, this drawing is my very first drawing with a drawing tablet. I've been trying to recreate it since. I've expanded. Now I don't use Wacom Small anymore. I have moved on to use. Right now, I'm using like a XP Pen Artist 15.6 Pro, and I also have like a non-display tablet from XP Pen. I think it's the Deco LW, but it's a little bit bigger than the Wacom Small. But I think like I had more time when I had Wacom Small, and I also drew more when I had Wacom Small. I feel like I don't use my tablets enough at this point. But anyway, I'm going to recreate this sometime. Just give me some time. I really enjoy it. This was when like the Alola region came out, um, and I was enjoying it. I think it was the Alola region, right? I think so. Yeah. So we meet my third friend online. She was Avian Chan. I think I've got the name right. I met her online. I talked to her. I really enjoyed her characters, and she actually writes, I think, and creates merchandise. I haven't followed her for a while. Trust me, I've been away from people for a few years now. Um, people online for a few years now. But yeah, I think I probably should like look everyone who has been kind to me up and talk to them again. uh, but this was a fan art for her of her character. She was a time traveler, by the way. Or was it like a universe traveler? I just remember vague details, but then again it was in 2016. I was heavily into Miraculous Ladybug. This is not a very good slide. um, and then I also started working on, there is this thing called Canvas Tutor on a Play Store, and I used to work with the prompts to get better at art. And I think this was one of the prompt where I was like limited with a color palette, three color palette. The only things apart from the three colors I can use was like black and white, and I use them, and I'm really really proud of this drawing. uh, I really liked Adrian's character design, and Adrian is such a good boy. So I haven't been following Miraculous Ladybug after season one ended. So I don't know what's going on. But this is a bit of a Rin fan art, Rin from Shelter. Um, I drew it. I thought I'd color it, but I never really got around to it, I think. Ayane? Ayane, is it? She's from Kageru Days. I think her name is Ayane. Please correct me if I'm wrong. These are the character sheets. I think these are the most elaborate character sheets I ever made. And these are the characters I have not been using ever since. I have have to make such detailed character sheets for for my current OCs, but I've never done that. Uh, yeah, this is Ophelia, and this guy here is a half demon, half fairy called Sin, Cin. One day we'll get back to them. This is another artwork I drew for the same magazine I mentioned earlier. Uh, I think this made it into the magazine, or I hope it didn't make it into the magazine because I don't like it that much right now. But I think it made it into the magazine. Thankfully, I don't have copies of it to prove that. That was a university level magazine. Hello. Um, I'm doing this post recording, but this drawing is actually inspired from Gumi's song "Childhood Blues." I initially mistakenly thought that it was inspired by Pluvia's animatic of the song Akane by Umemishi, the boy band from Maid Sama. But I don't know. I guess like the atmosphere and everything was so similar, and it's been a few years since then, so I might have forgotten the initial story. But yeah, so I had a major Gumi phase in between, where I was listening to Gumi's songs quite a bit. So it was like a Gumi and Honeyworks phase, and I guess it's all because of I Know Scenario. It was like the opening to the Magic Kaito series, so and I was like such a big fan. But anyway, like I Know Scenario was Chico, right? Wait, I think I might mistaken here, but I somehow stumbled upon Gumi, and I became a huge fan of Gumi and the songs. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to mention that before we move on to the actual recording. Okay, bye bye. See you later. Then, oh, we went back. Mm, okay, back to fairy tale. I was heavily drawing comics for fairy tale at this point. I think this was my era where I was drawing the most comics, and some of them would be an extension of some magazines, and the other ones are like the other ones are more about fan ideas, head canons. But I enjoyed them. I think I should go back to this actually, because I've been so scared about writing comics ever since. Even the web comic I plan to do, I've just been scared. I just think I put on too much pressure in my head, and it was so much simpler when I was doing this. I would just draw and forget about everything else, and I wouldn't care too much if the scene was not good or if it could have been done better. I would just get on with it and work. And I think I also drew more emotions then than compared to now. I mean, look at this surprise face over here and this annoyed face over here. These days I just draw people smiling most of the time. I'm trying to improve on that. Okay, then the next one is sorry, 2017, and we are greeted with one of my most favorite drawings of 2017. I drew this for one of the 30-day 1 hour video drawing challenge, which I posted on YouTube. I think either I have the flip through here or something. I'm not exactly sure, but I drew this with my Wacom one. Did I start using Clip Studio Paint already for this point? At this point, I'm not sure about that. I think so. Um, Maybe not. Not yet. Was it Krita or Medibank? I think it was Medibank Paint. Um, I was using free softwares quite a bit during that period, and it was quite nice. So yeah, I drew these characters. These are from a drawing from a K drama called Mirror of the Witch, I think. Uh, I thought I wouldn't like the drama, but it actually ended up being quite nice by the end of it. I was very surprised with many things, and it was quite fun. So I drew them, and this was for one of the Secret Santa events. I drew that. It was quite fun. Then Chrissy's bag. So this is Christy from my story. The one you've seen a couple of slides ago, a couple of minutes ago, maybe. Hope not. But I drew Christy, and uh, along with another female character in the story, and I have not really decided finalize her name yet. She was initially supposed to be Hikari, but then she moved on to becoming Cho, Chou. This I'm finalizing the details, and I want to like use names which are not like taken from one language in the story. So or like basically make up my own names. But I haven't been able to do that yet. But one day we will hear these people's story, and it'll be quite nice. I hope you would enjoy it. I hope that I hope you can enjoy when I reveal their story to you. But for now, we're just going to move on to the next artwork. This drawing I drew for one of, I think it's still like for Canvas Tutor palette challenge. It's either that or some challenge on Pageviewer. But it was definitely a limited palette challenge. And I was drawing this. When I saw the colors, I felt like this was the most appropriate one. And this gave me inspiration for another story, which I hope that could come to light one day. Uh, yeah. Yes, we are there. I saw Fantastic Beasts. I was very amazed with Fantastic Beasts. My first fan art of Rosu Shido. We're still heavily into Miraculous Ladybug. I even draw like comics and stuff of Miraculous Ladybug. And this one definitely is one of my favorites for of all the artworks I've done for Miraculous Ladybug, like fan arts I've done for Miraculous Ladybug. I was using screen tones at this point, and it was quite fun. Then we have like the Secret Santa for this year. So the one which you've seen earlier was like a summer Secret Santa, and this was the winter Secret Santa. Sometimes for the winter Secret Santas, usually I try to keep in the Christmas trees, and this time I tried to draw two characters, and it was quite fun. This is my fan art for Su Senpai. So Su Senpai is basically, I think you might know them as C or C Chan. C as in TSIIH on YouTube, or C Chan on Instagram. Uh, I absolutely adore her art, and I was a huge fan. I don't think she is making videos on YouTube anymore. Um, she might just be busy. But I've been eagerly waiting for her more of her sketchbook videos ever since. Uh, this Secret Santa is another favorite drawing of mine. This one is I think like my most favorite part of this Secret Santa is like this. So I also should mention I was joining at this stage. I was not only joining the Secret Santa hosted by DeviantArt Group, Secret Santa Network. I was also joining Secret Santas hosted by individual creators like Sayukiye on Instagram. So that's why you would see multiple Secret Santa drawings from me in 1 year. So this was one of my favorites. I really like the pose. I like this detail which I've added, like which is a picture of the characters and this cute little animal. I don't know which creature it is, but yeah, I don't remember. It's been quite a long, guys. I hope you can forgive me. But what I like the most about this drawing is this frosted window and the silhouette of a background. I think that's kind of my favorite, and I hope I can go back to that level of skill one day. So now we are moving to the next year, which is 2018. Okay. So this year was webtoons, Hugh Ember, and fan comics. Uh, so webtoon. I started a webtoon called Loves Me Not. Um, I think this was the second webtoon I started, but there was another one before that. I was still heavily into Miraculous Ladybugs. I was making these comics. I had like these two strong Miraculous Ladybug comic ideas which I wanted to draw, but I could never finish them. I think like this was one, and this was a different one. This was one where Marinette disappears. I don't, again, as I mentioned, I've only seen season one of Miraculous Ladybug at this point, and I have no idea of what went down in the story. I'm not actively following what went down in the other seasons of Miraculous Ladybug after this. So this one is when the scene is where Adrian suddenly remembers that he forgot Ladybug. And that's all I can say for now. Maybe in a future video, I would reveal the story, but it's a huge maybe. Oh, by the way, this one is like an Baku Ocha fan art. So basically, I was quite into this Bakugo and Ochako shipping at this point. Wait, am I in the wrong year? Am I? Oh, I think I messed up. Oh, wait. I think I know. Because this was a New Year artwork, I made it before the New Year ended. That's why it's in 2018 pile, guys. Yeah. So this was for Huember. This is one of my favorites. These are two of my characters from a different story, which I should write someday. I just have too many stories at this point, guys. Um, yeah. One day you'll see the light of the day. Yes, I was still into Nalu, but I think Fairy Tail ended by this year. I was going through withdrawal phase. It was a very strong withdrawal phase. More of my OCs from Loves Me Not. I was trying to draw a thumbnail for them. These characters don't look like this anymore. They've heavily undergone transformations. It would surprising. More of my OCs, Secret Santa artwork, draw this in your challenge. And this one is a memory. I went to like a seminar, and I was staying with someone. I was staying at someone's house, and they had this huge piano which I played, and there was like this makeshift bed, and there was a couch, and there were these purple curtains, and a bag. I think like the bean bag. Uh, it was quite nice. It was such a beautiful memory, and I really wanted to capture it when it ended. Oh, yeah. And we come to our first story. This is a story called Granted. I've never went past the first episode because I realized I had no freaking clue what to write after that. I mean, it is a huge tragedy, and I wanted to write it well, but I stuck. I stopped at just brainstorming phase. I just stopped at the brainstorming phase, and sorry, I couldn't like get to the end of it. But I like the panels, and especially this is a bit cut off, but I this eye and this closed eye, I really like it. I think I've become less bold as I started drawing more webcomic later on. Which so we are here at 2019. 2019 was an intense year. I was doing character designs, Boku no Hero Academia fan art, and draw this in your challenge. Yep. And I was also watching Mob Psycho. So yeah, Mob and Reagan Sensei. The fan arts were needed. I needed to draw. So at this point, I started seeing a change in my drawings because I was heavily on Instagram, and I found that I started drawing only heads. So my artwork became progressively worse compared to my artwork in 2015 or 2016. I felt like this is all in retrospective. I probably did not feel anything when I was in 2019. But now that I look back at it, I feel like I've drawn more heads and shoulders than most years in 2019 and 2020. I'm ready to be proven wrong. So this was like a concept art I came up for, like the cover for Granted, but as I mentioned, I could never make it. This was a small. I was into this. What was his name? Todoroki and Momo. So I was into the Todo Momo shipping. I'm a shipper. Um, I'm happy that I've gotten far from that right now. I don't ship many characters unless they are like in official relationships in the story, or um Maybe I still do. I don't know. I haven't found any ships to sail on for a long time. But I was into the Todomomo dynamic, and I created like a full short comic on their first date. And yeah, that was fun. And this is a continuation of that colored panel of Adrian from a few slides ago, um, where he realizes that he actually did not only forget Ladybug, but he forgot Marinette. And he starts searching for Marinette, but he can't find Marinette. Yeah, it's a whole story. One video. It's already quite long video, so I'm not going into details. Um, but yeah, it was such a tragic story. More DTIYs. So these are from three different artists. I followed them. And this is one of my favorite drawings. As I said, I am obsessed with Lucy. I really like her character. She's very kind. So I draw her, and I have like this one drawing which I actually draw over the years. And I use this as a progress tracker. And I'm going to probably draw this next year, hopefully in Jan. So this is the my progress throughout the years of how I drew this Lucy drawing. And as you can see, I actually got a lot better. The 2020 version is one of my favorite versions, although I still want to improve on the background of, like the graffiti art. But I think I've gotten to a very good point in anatomy by then. And then that also brings us to 2020. Yeah, this is a Secret Santa drawing, and we'll revisit it later. So I started another webtoon over here, and a drawing is supposed to be here, but I can't. It's basically of my character from Loves Me Not. I'll just add it a bit later. Maybe in the final cut, you should see that drawing over here. I discovered Callistus in on Instagram, and her art and the story and the world building are so beautiful. So I have been heavily following her for a long time. Um, right now, I'm not on Instagram as much, so I don't think I'm following her right now. But I used to follow her in 2020 quite a bit. Um, this is my character. I won't name her right now. She is from my new webtoon, which I mentioned. Like, I'm writing a new webtoon, and now my character from Loves Me Not appears. So I've I have her. I like all the flowy parts of this drawing. I like drawing flowy things. So I often like drawing hair. It's very calming and soothing, and it's super flowy. So most of my characters have long hair. This one was, I think, a Secret Santa thingy. I think so. Yep. Basically, yeah, this is Sharon, and this is Faye. So this is panels from my web comic. I think these are pretty good web comic panels. I don't think I can draw web comics right now. I mean, my confidence in drawing them is so low, but I still enjoy it. It's really fun. um Yeah, I was drawing more art challenges. We need to draw Lucy once a year at least, but I haven't drawn her for a year or two, I think. But yeah, Lucy is always there in the back of my mind. Um, and then this is again like a Secret Santa thing, or like either that or it was just a request. This is a redraw of a Goblin fan art. I'm planning another redraw, but I haven't actually got the chance to do it. I think if we consider one of my worst drawings, the original of this Goblin fan art was the one of my worst drawings, something which I can never get over. Sabrina fan art. I was watching Sabrina. I haven't continued it after a few episodes. But yeah, I was watching Sabrina, and I really like the colors that were being used. So, and I was happy that I could replicate it to some point. I hope I did justice to it. More Secret Santa artwork, and I really like the painterly style and colors I've used. This is a special one. This is a Draw This in Your Style challenge by Mrs. Rabbit on Instagram. She's one of my favorite artists, and she's one of the inspirations that kept me going through Instagram phases. I always look back to her art for inspiration, and she always responds to my message. And she even drawn one of my characters from my webcomics one day, and I still have it. It's very close to my heart, and it's such a precious thing. Uh, yeah, if I can, I would definitely love to meet them one day. I really admire them quite a bit. Please do check them out and please follow them. They have great art and they're really amazing people too. And this one, I started using Clip Studio Paint materials, and this was when I used a lot of textures, designs, uh, materials. There are like two pillars around it which you cannot see, and I used this frontal camera blurring. It was like blood was splattered across the camera, kind of effect, motion blurs, and it's such a gorgeous piece. I really like it. And I think we are at the end of uh 2020. Okay, another date seems a bit weird. Yeah, 2020. Now we are there at 2021. um okay, I'll put a disclaimer so that I don't feel bad later on. I've tried to maintain the years of my drawing. I mean, the years. I try to categorize my paintings by years as much as I can. But if I've misplaced a few here and there, I hope you can overlook that. Yep, I created a new story again, and then I was reading a lot of webtoons at this point, so I drew a few characters from webtoons, and then draw this in your style challenge, which I never finished. This is again another thing which I redraw. Basically, I've been trying to recreate the style of coloring and artwork from 2015 in my current art, but I haven't been able to do that. Um, but my current style in 2021 was not that bad either. I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy with how things turned out. Yep. So this is for cover art for my story Wink. It's supposed to be my Inktober only characters. So these are the characters I draw once every October, once a year, every October, and they have like the most defined characters and situations and the story just waiting to be written. And this is my character Hyun. I have to come up with a better name for him, and he's one of my favorite characters I've created. I think that I just make him into be whatever he I want him to be. He can be like Superman and Batman, and he can also be um I don't know. He can be anything. Literally, he can be anything in my story, and I wouldn't be surprised if I made him anything. So I'm trying to define him. I'm also trying to change his design so that I know that it's not because I'm just obsessed with his design. I'm just giving him everything in the world. But he's my precious little boy. I don't know. He's my pretty precious little child. Um, so he's like my son. He is my son. Okay, just give me a minute. Uh, my laptop's out of charge right now. Okay, that should do it. More designs of my OCs. I tried to make him have like white hair, and I also gave him a beard. But what happened when one of my friends saw his design, she was like, "Is he an old man?" And I was like, okay, maybe I should rethink my character design because he's supposed to be someone with premature hair graying, and because he's like a overthinker, so it's common for people who are thinking a lot to have premature graying of hair. So that's what I wanted to put down, but I don't want it to come across as a love story with a large age gap. So I need to rethink my character design again. But I really liked this idea though. I was trying to make some studies. This one is Secret Santa. This one over here is a study of the wind rise from Genshin Impact. This one is a Lin's HG artwork study. So this is the artwork from the original artist, and this is my study. Clearly, I realized that I can't replicate it exactly. So I did my best. I learned a bit, but I don't remember what I learned, which is sad. This is my first ever Genshin fan art. Um, I do love Genshin quite a bit, but the designs are like so intricate. I don't think I can draw them. So I've always avoided them despite how much I love the characters. I've avoided them. And this one I drew it for my sister's birthday because Scaramouche is like her favorite character. And she was so ecstatic when they finally released him. And she really enjoys playing Wanderer. But so I decided to, okay, do my best, try to replicate as much design as possible, and draw Scaramouche. I did it. I do regret it, but I think I grew a lot. Somewhere, I think I learned that we avoid drawing detail because we are not good at art. Uh, and one way to improve artwork might not have to be like drawing many different things, but rather just adding more detail to whatever is currently existing. I don't know if I got the advice correct, but the idea is basically to add more detail into the drawing and don't just leave it at generic shapes, which is what I used to do. So that's what I tried to do here, and try not to be scared. To be honest, this year especially, I think in 2023, I drew a lot more Genshin characters, and I tried to include as much details as possible. And I'm quite proud of it. And this one, I was dabbling in 3D art. I used a tutorial and I followed it, created my own isometric room in Blender. And then I also added some of my webcomic panels to this paintings over here. These are webcomic panels from my story, Mishaps in the Enchanted Forest, which I've started, I think, the year before, but never finished. So that somehow brings us to 2022. And to define 22 in one word, it's a year where I have one illustration, and oh, it's many words already. It's a year where we have one illustration and many sketches, and actually not too many sketches either. 2022 was a year where I did not draw much. I made a few studies. I really liked this study. I also really liked this study. Uh, oh no, actually, I don't like this study, but I did get to learn quite a bit. I struggle with realism quite a bit. These are my characters. You remember the white-haired guy I was talking about? I'm still working on it. I want to keep him as whitehead character, but I don't know. Maybe I should like treat it differently. Yeah. So these are a few character designs. I was trying out like picturing them on the cover of a book or something. That's actually a cool idea, to be honest. I was trying to take classes on Udemy, trying to learn anatomy. Um, and don't think I've used up the knowledge I've gained though. Um, this one was for one of the Secret Santas, which I've like not really used it in the final version. In the final version of the idea, because like as you can see, this seems very flat. So, and I was thinking of more like a top down view, but it was like the background was too flat. But I really like the background, so I did not end up using this for the Secret Santa drawing, basically. But what I did was I actually created a whole background and colored it in, added the characters, and used 3D assets for this cycle. It's glaringly obvious, but still, I created a very beautiful artwork and I really like it. Uh, the giftee also enjoyed the artwork quite a bit. And recently, I've made bookmarks out of this cat and the sakura trees. So I'm very happy with it. That was the only illustration for 2022. I didn't draw much, and honestly, I lost all my confidence to draw by the end of 2022. So 2023 marked as like a revival era, and I decided to actively learn. uh, During the last 6 months especially, I think you might have seen my art summary for 2023. I'll post a link to it here, but you must have seen that. First 6 months of the year was basically very loose sketches and stuff. I started working on the Mark Brunet's 1 year art improvement challenge, which I couldn't finish after like 2 or 3 months. But after that, I was very busy. I was moving countries and stuff, so I'm not going to beat myself about it. But then after I came back to Australia, I decided to, you know, challenge myself, push my boundaries further, learn more art. So that's what I did. I've been doing studies from Pinterest. This is how my art looked like in the beginning of the year. This one I created on sometime in March this year. But this is a more recent drawing. I've been using different mediums like markers, like still water-based markers, but and also I've used acrylic paints and watercolors this year. And I also created this brilliant piece. Um, I don't completely like the colors, but I do like that the whole thing seems cohesive, and it feels very magical. I used a few assets from Clip Studio Paint, and I brought the whole image together, and I really like it. This has to be one of the best illustrations for me for my in my journey. I also challenged myself, and I posted more YouTube videos this year, and I shared my process. And this is where we leave off 2023. This is my latest drawing of Furina, and I see that after looking at staring at it for a while, I find that there isn't much contrast that's happening here. I feel like still need to work on the contrast, but I still like it. It's very serene, and that. Oh, we have one more Secret Santa drawing. So this year, in December, I'm not participating in any Secret Santas, but this is from the Summer Secret Santa event this year, and I really like this too. I also used assets from Clip Studio Paint to bring this together, and that brings us to 2024. Happy New Year, guys! In advance, of course. But 2024, I'm going to work on more projects. I have very distinct ideas on what I want to do this year, one of which includes like the web comic, which I've been talking about. To be honest, I haven't made much progress on it. I'm actually very scared of it because it's also like a story which is like a part of a bigger story. So anything I put down in there, I feel like it's gonna affect the whole bigger universe that I'm creating around it. So I'm a bit scared about that. And then, but I will push through. I will try to like post twice a month, um, and get some part of the story out so that I can move on and, you know, as someone once said, finished is better than perfect. Um, Someone I know said that to me. So I'm trying to get things to finish instead of trying to perfect them. And I feel like posting a web comic is sometimes more forgiving, I think. But let's see. Um, if I overcome this fear, you will see a new drawing on the 26th of January, a new webcomic episode on the 26th of January. If not, it's going to take a little bit longer. The next thing which I want to do next year is to open a sticker shop. I've already started blogging about it. This isn't an episode that's available on this drawing channel because I put it on my vlog channel. um, I'm not yet sure I want to put that on the drawing channel or not. But let's see. Let's give it some time. I want to create a few animatics. Definitely in October, you will see a animatic which I will be working on for the rest of the year. And the next thing is about a visual novel. So I have this cool idea for a Beidou visual novel. It's not a dating sim. It's basically the fight between Beidou and Haishan. I'm trying to learn Renpai enough to actually pull that off. It's not going to be like I'm not doing it from the scratch. It's going to be something from the beginning. Sorry, from I'm using tools which are going to help me, like sometimes Chat GPT, or tutorials on YouTube and on the Renpai forums. And I'm trying to get that thing to done, and I've like made some progress. I would say about 10 to 20% of progress has been done on that. I need to make the artwork, and I still need to fix the battle mechanism, and the story writing behind it. But once that is all done, I'll definitely release that story to everyone, and definitely share it with everyone. And this year, I want to do a few more art challenges, and I also want to do collaborations. I feel like it becomes very lonely after a while on the internet. And I surprisingly didn't feel this lonely when I started out. It was over the years. During the pandemic, especially, I was like going through a severe phase of social anxiety. I don't know if I can call it severe, but it was very extreme for me. I was like literally shutting myself in my room, not wanting to talk with people in person or online. But yeah, we are out of that, but the anxiety still remains. So I've been working on it this year, to be honest, and I'm so much better. So don't worry about me. But next year, I want to charge forward and seek people out, make more friends next year. And if possible, I want to do more collaborations with artists. I'm actually going to leave a link to a form. So if you're interested in doing a collaboration, art trades, art challenges together with me, just let me know and I'll get back to you in 2 weeks' time. Sometimes I might not be able to get back to you in 2 weeks' time, but I will definitely get back to you eventually, whether it's a whatever is your proposal, if I can meet it or not. But let's see how that works out. If I like, if I find that I want to ask a few people, but they have like very large following, so I don't know if they would notice. I guess this is something which is very common with artists. Usually, they are not very confident in asking people. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It could be just me. But anyway, I'm going to try harder. I'm going to reach out to more people and learn more, and talk to more people and more artists and figure out, at least let me set a goal for one collaboration. Um, yeah, I'll talk about the sticker shop in another video next year. But yeah, so these are the few things which are in my mind for next year, and it's going to be a fun year. I'm looking forward to it in 3 days. So yes, stay tuned for me. So stay tuned for more. You would find me on YouTube, mostly on YouTube. I am not very active on Instagram at the moment. I am also not very active on Patreon or Ko-fi, but these are the links I have. And keep an eye out for the sticker shop. It's just a heads up, but it's not going to open anytime soon, so I'm not promoting it, but I'll still keep mentioning it every now and then. But do like, subscribe, and follow my YouTube channel for more. And this would be like your source of truth, or like where you would get the most up to date information about things um I'm working on. So yeah, so thanks so much for, if you stayed this far, thank you so much for watching this video. And I hope that it was helpful or entertaining, at least entertaining, if you were there. uh, and yep, actually don't have much to say now, so I'll just let you guys go, and I'll see you again in the new year. Bye bye.